Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, next to interpret the sponsor, I move to recognize Representative Rene Co of the Kabatayan Party.
The Honorable Co is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good evening to our good sponsor and the Department of Budget and Management. This first line of questioning, I'm sure the body is well aware. No? The House made a commitment that the total 12.3 billion peso budget deficit of the free higher education allocations from 2022 to 2025 suffered by SUCs will all be paid by fiscal year 2026. The good sponsor herself made that announcement during the plenary deliberations of the budget hearings for CHED and SUCs. 7 billion plus pesos of this will come from the Higher Education Development Fund, while the legislature commits to fund 4.4 plus billion pesos through other alignments that the House will make in due time. But as flagged by the Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges, or PASOK, this gap resulted from the Department of Budget and Management's use of prior year's actual enrollment instead of the projected enrollment mandated by RA 10931. Section 4 of which clearly provides that the projected enrollment is the lawful basis for budget computation. Ibig sabihin po, may mismatch between ano po ang nakalagay sa batas na gagamiting basis for budget computation versus yung actually na ginamit. Resulting in this deficiency, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor. Simple lang po ang tanong natin dito. Bakit po ginamit ng Department of Budget and Management consistently since fiscal year 2022 ang prior year actual enrollment bilang basis ng FHE appropriations?
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, so in the past, the FHE was lodged in CHED, tapos nilipat po sa SUCs. In the process of doing that transition, ang nangyari po, neither CHED nor the SUCs were submitting the trend analysis for the projected number of students or enrollment for the next year. And for that reason, the DBM was constrained to use the prior year's data because of the absence of the trend analysis to be submitted by either CHED or SUCs. But for starting the NEP for fiscal year 2026, ang ginamit na po ng DBM ay yung projected increase na po in the enrollment. And DBM commits to doing the same in the next years. So sa mga susunod po na taon, hindi na po mangyayari yung ganong accumulation ng deficiencies.
Mr. Chair, good sponsor, just to clarify, has the DBM proactively sent communications, asked SUCs or CHED na makapag-submit po ng data nito as required and as mandated by law?
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, so the DBM said that they have conducted several technical budget hearings, and in every single one, they have reiterated the request to CHED and the SECs to submit the parameters.
Mr. Speaker, good sponsor, if it's possible for DBM to provide a brief report tungkol po sa mga these technical budget hearings, given po that this representation and its predecessors led the fight to pass the universal access to quality tertiary education, binabantayan po natin yung implementation nito. And siguro, is there any input on that, good sponsor?
Thank you. The DBM commits to submitting a report or a briefer pertaining to the technical budget hearings.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor. And just to clarify, the projections by PASOK that there will be a 3.3 billion peso deficiency if we continue to use the numbers of actual enrollment of the previous year, since there is input now that the NEP 2026 has used for all SUCs, projected enrollment. Maaasahan po ba natin na hindi po malaki yung magiging deficiency? Siguro may maaasahan pa lang tayong kaunti dahil hindi naman po siguro ang projection na to magiging true to reality. But to clarify po, no, for NEP 2026, lahat po ng SUCs, ang ginamit na pong basehan ay projected enrollment.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, so upon conferring with the DBM, PASOK did submit this. However, it was past the deadline of the evaluation, the deadline required for the parameters to make it into the computations for the 2026 NEP. So in the absence of that, gumawa na lang po yung DBM ng projections, trend analysis based on the average of the previous 3 years. But hindi naman po average of the actual. They developed a formula wherein they incorporated some parameters around increase, year-on-year increase, plus year-on-year attrition, and things like that. So, actually po, DBM pa rin po yung nag-devise noong formula for the projection for this year. Only because medyo na-delay lang po yung pasok ng parameters from PASOK.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Speaker. Good sponsor. We asked this line of questioning because in PASOK's calculations, there is a projected 3.3 billion deficiency because if there's no changes in the basis for the FHE allocations using using actual enrollment rates versus what is mandated by law to be projected. So, given that DBM has made its own calculations, essentially, meron po bang inaasahan po nating number or deficiency for 2026?
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleague, DBM will look into this further only because when PASOK made their submission, hindi po kompleto yung parameters na sinabit nila. Halimbawa po, we don't know what composite fees were built into the computation. So baka po doon po medyo nag-iba yung computation DBM versus the PASOK. So we don't know po where the discrepancy lies, either in the absolute number of students or in the composite rates or in the tuition fees. So DBM commits po to look into it further. Hihilingin lang po ng DBM sa PASOK na ma-share po yung parameters and assumptions that they built into making their projections. Once they're able to do that, we can update po our distinguished colleague as to whether there would be an estimated or projected deficiency for year 2026.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good colleague, we will look forward to receiving data or report on the same. And again, we ask this because this representation expresses the concern that this cannot happen again. Mr. Speaker, good colleague, hindi po maaari na mapahina ang pagpondo at pagrespeto ng karapatan sa libreng edukasyon dahil may mga kahinaan sa pagpapatupad po nito. I call therefore not to only stay true to the commitment to fund the 12.3 billion peso free higher education deficiency from 2022 to 2025, but also that any deficiency that will be incurred for fiscal year 2026 be similarly funded. And furthermore, that DBM comply with the provisions of the law, the full cooperation of different agencies will be fully realized so as to be true to the projected enrollment numbers being the basis for budget computations. And lastly, to put in mid-year adjustment mechanisms to address variances when actual enrollment exceeds projections. Thank you, and I hope this is duly considered, and in due time, we will make the appropriate amendments to the budget, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleague. We support that. Yun din po yung gusto natin gawin, that as much as possible, there would be no deficiency moving forward in the full implementation of UACTE. So, I'm happy po that we were able to address the deficiencies thus far until the end of 2025. But the DBM will endeavor that in 2026 and the years after, hindi na po magkakaroon ng ganong deficiency. So, I think the DBM can coordinate closely with PASOK and other stakeholders just so the parameters are more aligned, just so the projections would have less discrepancy vis-a-vis the actual. Para po, wala na po tayong deficiencies moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good sponsor. I have a few lines of questioning left. These are from people's organizations. I will just make them very quick. This is in relation po to the pension of military and uniformed personnel under lump sum funds. Mr. Speaker, good sponsor, magkano po ang kabuuang ginagastos ng gobyerno para sa pension ng MUP sa mga nakaraang taon? Or maybe that can be submitted to this representation, but ang mahalaga po, magkano ang budget dito para sa 2026, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor?
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleague, as of December 31, 2024, 122.3 billion pesos po.
Sorry, 122?
122.3 billion pesos po.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor. Kung ikukumpara po ba natin to sa ibang gastusin, totoo po ba na mas malaki ang ginagastos ng MUP pensions kaysa sa combined MOE, CO ng AFP and PNP?
Speaker, distinguished colleague, so taking a look at the MOE and capital outlay for AFP for year 2024, that would be a total of 115 billion versus the MUP component in the lump sum funds, which is 122 billion. So yes, we can confirm mas mataas po yung sa MUP.
Yes, thank you for that confirmation, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor. And tama po, no, sa kasalukuyan, ang mga MUP pensions ay non-contributory. Ibig sabihin po, walang ambag ang mga miyembro at lahat po ay galing sa buwis ng taong bayan.
That is correct, Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleague.
And tama rin po ba na kapag nag-retire ang isang opisyal, automatic ang indexation ng kanyang pension sa sahod ng kasalukuyang nasa serbisyo? Kaya kapag tumaas po yung sahod ng aktibong opisyal, tataas din po ang mga pensyon ng retirado.
That is correct po.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor. Ano po ang karaniwang edad ng pagre-retiro ng MUP? Tama po ba na maaari silang mag-retire ng mas maaga habang buhay at habang buhay nang tatanggap ng pensyon?
56 years old po sa PNP, 57 years old po sa AFP.
Yes, and tama po no na habang buhay sila tatanggap ng pension.
Yes po, that is correct.
Ang kabuuang unfunded liability ng MUP pension, Madam Speaker, good sponsor, from the findings of the People's Movement, ay nasa 14 trillion pesos na po. Paano po natin maharap yung halagang ito na higit pa sa taon ng budget? Our budget for this year, Madam Speaker, good sponsor, is 6 trillion. 6 plus trillion. But this is 14 trillion po in unfunded liability.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleague, sa kasalukuyan po wala pong unfunded. Meron lang pong projected increase in the coming years, again, driven by the indexation to salaries. Pero as of now po, wala pong unfunded doon po sa pension.
So there's currently no unfunded liabilities ng MUP pension. Is this being confirmed, Ms. Good sponsor?
Speaker, my distinguished colleague, yes, we can confirm that there are no unfunded obligations as of now, but we recognize the point.
May additional difficulties na makikita natin. I make this manifestation, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor, because malinaw na ang kasalukuyang MUP pension system ay unsustainable and could be unfair sa ating mga manggagawa and pensioners, no? Habang ang mga MUP ay nakakatanggap ng pensyon na halos katumbas ng full salary, ang mga ordinaryong manggagawa sa SSS at GSIS ay nakakatanggap lang ng maliit na bahagi. Kung hindi po may aayusin tungkol sa sistema na ito, ang burden nito ay lalo pang lalaki at kakain ng pondo para sa mas mahalagang serbisyong pampubliko. This would include education, health, and social protection programs. Madam Speaker, good sponsor. In due time, we will make the appropriate movements so that changes can be made po. Madam Speaker, good sponsor. My last line of questioning, Madam Speaker, good sponsor, this is coming from the civil society organizations that wanted to participate in the budget deliberations and had limited ability to be able to fully participate. So can the DBM consider sending electronic copies of the NEP as in the format of the GAB already for easier, better tracking of our civil society organizations and of the House itself, so as to cut down time in pre-preparations for the budget in the House? Madam Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, on the part of the DBM, the NEP has been posted on the website, so they have access to the NEP.
Yes, and this line of questioning, we'd like to ask if it can be in the format of the GAB already, so as to streamline and make adjustments, checking the different items faster po.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, there are that may need to be studied further, given that there are differences in the formatting of the DBM and of the Committee on Appropriations. Yung NEP po kasi also includes the automatic appropriations. But the GAB only includes new appropriations. So yun po yung isa sa mga pinakamalalaki na pagkakaiba ng NEP at ng GAB. So that would have to be subjected to further evaluation, given that there are differences in what's contained in the NEP and the GAB.
Madam Speaker.
Particularly po sa new appropriations versus automatic appropriations.
Yes. Madam Speaker, good sponsor, it is still also the standing critique of this representation that automatic appropriations, especially the ones that are used for debt servicing, takes a huge chunk of our budget, no? We are joined by many people's organizations that continue to lobby that instead of it going to this, ay pumunta po sana sa new appropriations. We mentioned this because gusto rin pa rin nating i-consider yung proposal, no? Despite there being differences in automatic and new appropriations and how it is being formatted, that we give all the tools to empower our civil society organizations, third parties, non-governmental organizations to not only participate in the budget, but check how we are doing, no? Given we are committed to to many principles like transparency and accountability. And last question, Madam Speaker, good sponsor, in the same spirit of transparency and summoning also the techie spirit of the youth. We are bihasa po tayo sa Google Sheets at sa iba't ibang mga formatting so as to make data more comprehensive mas maintindihan po ng pinakamarami. Will the DBM consider creating a master tracker of changes in NEP, the GAB, and GAA so as to make this information easily accessible to the public?
The DBM is open to that. Yes, as long as they get access to the GAB as approved in the House and also as approved in the Senate, they can make that tracker.
Okay. We're very glad to hear that commitment, Madam Speaker, good sponsor, because ito po yung hinahanap at ito po rin yung gawain ng mga kabataan na maraming oras na maalaan para makapag-participate sa iba't iba nating mga gawain. And I hope that moving forward in the different budget cycles ay hindi lang po mas inclusive ito, pero kaya pang makapag-participate and input more substantively ng iba't ibang mga civil society organizations. That's all, Madam Speaker, good sponsor. Thank you very much for answering our questions. I yield my time to the